Destiny Payton didn't tiptoe into that interview. She didn't give hints or speak in clever riddles. She opened with a sentence so blunt it felt like a slap in the face: she was never a real friend. No names. No need. Everyone watching knew exactly who she was talking about: Melody. And just like that, years of sisterhood, smiling selfies, and we've got each other's back moments on love and marriage, Huntsville started to fall apart in front of millions. This wasn't the kind of drama that explodes overnight. It was a slow burn, the kind you don't notice until it's too late to repair. To the outside world, Destiny and Melody looked like the definition of loyalty. They were two women navigating business moves, divorces, and messy cast feuds together. On screen, they laughed, supported each other, and spoke like sisters. They promoted each other's ventures, showed up for big events, and made it seem like nothing could break them. But people started whispering when the signs appeared. First, the Instagram tags stopped. Then, there were no more girls' night pictures, no playful comments under each other's posts. Then came the unfollow. And in the world of social media, that's basically a friendship breakup. Still, nobody was ready for Destiny to speak the way she did. What made it sting even more was that Destiny hadn't been messy from the start. She kept her mouth shut for months, maybe even years, letting the public form their own opinions while she stayed silent. But everyone has a breaking point. For Destiny, the moment came when she realized her silence was working against her. People were filling in the blanks with their own stories, and none of them were flattering. So, she decided to tell her truth. According to Destiny, the friendship fans saw on TV wasn't the reality behind closed doors. She claimed that Melody's warmth and loyalty were for the cameras. When filming wrapped, text messages went unanswered, phone calls stopped, and invitations never came. And for Destiny, the pain wasn't about likes, reposts, or clout. It was deeper. She told the interviewer about a personal moment, one where she shared something raw and private with Melody. It wasn't for TV ratings or drama. It was one woman opening up to another in complete trust. But somehow, bits of that private pain started slipping out. Not as a huge on-screen blow-up, but in little ways: subtle digs, offhand remarks, and conversations that hinted at things she had shared in confidence. Destiny didn't name Melody outright as the source, but the implication was clear: someone she trusted hadn't protected her trust. That was when the picture shifted for her. She stopped seeing Melody as her sister and started seeing her as just another co-star, someone playing a role. But the story didn't stop there. The day after Destiny's interview went public, Melody went live on social media. She didn't mention Destiny by name, but her words were sharp: some people only show up when it benefits them. I've outgrown fake loyalty. It sounded like a motivational speech, but fans knew it was shade. The internet exploded. Suddenly, everyone was picking sides: Team Destiny or Team Melody. Comment sections became battlegrounds, castmates started liking shady posts, and reunion specials instantly became more interesting. Destiny, however, insisted this wasn't about stirring drama. She said it was about taking control of her story before others twisted it. Melody wasn't used to being cast as the villain. Her image was built on being strong, loyal, and above petty drama. Destiny's statement didn't just bruise her brand, it cracked the way her fans saw her. Still, Melody stayed calm. Her responses were vague but pointed. To her, silence was a way of controlling the narrative. But silence only works until the other voice gets too loud. And right now, Destiny's voice was everywhere. In follow-up interviews, Destiny didn't soften her claims. She accused Melody of having conditional kindness, showing up when cameras were rolling or when it helped her image, but not when it really mattered. Off-camera, Destiny felt like a prop, valuable when needed, forgotten when not. Fans started digging through old footage. Little moments they once thought were harmless now felt different. The way Melody sometimes spoke over Destiny, redirected conversations, or gave quick on-screen support but rarely mentioned her outside of group scenes, all of it started to look calculated. Destiny also pointed to business promises that never materialized. She claimed Melody had pledged to promote her beauty line but barely mentioned it, despite having a huge platform. For someone who once claimed to be her sister, that silence cut deep. One moment in particular stuck with fans during a reunion taping. Destiny was under heavy criticism from other cast members. She expected Melody to defend her, but instead, Melody stayed quiet, her body language cold and detached. In real time, it seemed like nothing. Now, with fresh context, it felt intentional. Melody's camp didn't stay quiet either. Friends and allies posted about loyalty and protecting your peace, without using names. Cast members liked comments, reposted quotes, and made vague statements about people not appreciating your light. It was the kind of quiet online warfare that reality TV thrives on. Destiny didn't claim she was perfect. She admitted there were times she could have communicated better or been more present. But she stood firm in her belief that she gave her friendship completely, only to receive something filtered, curated, and sometimes transactional in return. By now, fans were piecing the timeline together. The decline wasn't sudden, it had been happening for a while. Less joint appearances, less excitement when they were together, and an overall shift in their energy. Destiny's claim that Melody was performing for the cameras no longer sounded outrageous. But through all the noise, one thing was missing: Melody's raw, unfiltered truth. No subtweets, no cryptic captions, just her side of the story. Until that came, fans could only speculate. Because in reality TV, perception is everything. Right now, Destiny held the microphone. The internet had chosen sides. But at the heart of it all, Destiny insisted this wasn't about teams, gossip, or even revenge. For her, it was about truth finally telling her side, no matter how messy it sounded. Destiny says that in the past, she would have kept quiet, smiled for the cameras, and swallowed the hurt just to keep the peace. But peace that costs you your dignity isn't peace at all, it's just silence dressed up as loyalty. And she's done with that. Her decision to speak out wasn't easy. She knew people would question her, call her bitter, or say she was clout chasing. She knew she'd risk being painted as the difficult one, the jealous friend, or the villain in someone else's story. But she also knew the weight she'd been carrying: the loneliness, the confusion, the feeling of being erased from a world she once felt a part of. She described moments that stung more than any headline. Showing up to an event and realizing she wasn't on the guest list anymore. Hearing about group trips only after seeing the pictures posted online. Watching alliances form while she was left on the sidelines, wondering what she had done to deserve it. These weren't just TV moments, they were real-life cuts that left real scars. Meanwhile, Melody's approach has been a masterclass in controlled messaging. No angry outbursts, no emotional breakdowns, just carefully chosen words and polished appearances. Her social media stayed on brand: business updates, motivational captions, and pretty photo shoots. To her supporters, this was grace under fire. To her critics, it was a way of dodging the hard questions. And those hard questions kept coming. If Destiny's claims were false, why not address them directly? Why not look the camera in the eye and set the record straight? Instead, Melody's silence became its own kind of statement, one that spoke just as loudly as Destiny's interviews. The producers of Love and Marriage, Huntsville, saw the tension building, and they knew exactly how to use it. Teasers for the upcoming season showed Destiny and Melody face to face in what looked like a raw, emotional showdown. Fans froze the clips, analyzed every eyebrow raise, every half smile, every tear. But reality TV editing can turn 2 seconds of footage into a whole storyline. The real truth would only come out when viewers saw the full, uncut exchange. That moment, two women who once called each other sisters finally addressing the fracture between them, became one of the most anticipated scenes in the show's history. It wasn't just about drama anymore. People wanted answers. They wanted to know how something so strong could fall apart so completely. Destiny says she's not looking for revenge or even reconciliation. She's looking for freedom, the kind you feel when you stop pretending something is still whole when it's been broken for a long time. If people believe me, that's fine. If they don't, that's fine too, she said. I didn't speak up for them. I spoke up for me. What began as quiet heartbreak has turned into public healing. And whether Melody ever shares her unfiltered truth or not, one thing is certain: this friendship, once celebrated as real and unshakable, will now be remembered as one of reality TV's most talked about breakups. For Destiny Payton, closing this door isn't the end of her story. It's the start of the part where she finally gets to walk through a new one without looking back. Thanks for watching, fam. Stay real, stay respectful in the comments, and remember, sometimes silence isn't peace, it's preparation. See y'all in the next video. This is Celeb Nova, where the drama ends and the truth begins.